Y'all, it's your boy. I'm back here with an update. I have been sick all weekend, and I appreciate all the love out there, y'all. I had made a post on the community page about me being sick. I had a sinus infection, fever, and bronchitis, y'all. So this is actually only the second time I've been outside the whole weekend, and I just needed to get up and move around, y'all. So I figured, I was like, maybe I'll make a video on the Caprice, an update on the Caprice, since I haven't done one in a while, and I just needed to get up and doing something, y'all. So I got an update on the Caprice here, y'all. So here we go. All right, so while I was inside the whole weekend, I was actually going over a lot of things in regards to the Chevelle, the Caprice, the Regal, what needed to be done, what I was gonna do, and I already knew the first priority was to get the Chevelle done and get it to the shop. But when I get it to the shop, then I'm gonna have to start working on the Caprice. So if you guys didn't know, I'm sure a lot of you guys do, the transmission is fried in the Caprice. Also, there's some other little odds and ends that I have to do. I also have to get a new belt drive system for the Pro Charger, because I want the Pro Charger to run on its own belt drive system, and have it take that away from just running one single belt and running all the accessories and the Pro Charger itself. So I want to do its own separate belt drive system. In regards to the transmission, I was originally just going to, well, the original plan was to put a 4L80 in it after the 4L60 just went, and I didn't know when the 4L60 was gonna go. Supposedly it had been rebuilt before I got it, and it actually lasted a couple years. But when I was doing some research, y'all, I think I actually helped to fry the transmission myself, and here's why. When I took the Caprice to a local show here, it's actually about 4 hours away from me. When I was leaving the show there, I always check the fluids and everything, and I had noticed the transmission fluid was like a little gritty. It had some discoloration to it. It was still pink, but it had some discoloration, some grit, and you know, that dark kind of metal shaving tint to it. And I was like, no, please don't. And but it had always drove fine, you know, and ever since then it had drove fine. And I actually cycled a lot of the fluid out of it and put new fluid in it, and it still worked fine. So it held up. So I was like, man, I'm just gonna ride it until it goes, and then after that I'll just throw a 4L80 in it. But after I stuck the new rear end in it, so I went from a 241 gear, that was the stock gears in it, to a 373. And you know, I don't know a whole lot about transmissions and in regards to gearing and all of that. And I did some research and all that beforehand, but I didn't realize that that the 373 gears would be probably too much on the freeway for a 4L60, and not realizing that without overdrive it probably wouldn't be the best thing for it. I knew it was going to be running at a higher RPM the whole time, but I really didn't think much of it. I didn't think that it was going to actually fry the transmission. And after doing some research and stuff this weekend, since I'm being sick, I had found out that that was probably the case, that I actually helped to assist to make the 4L60 go. And reason why is because when I was driving down to Reno this past summer when it actually fried, my RPM was probably floating anywhere between 2,500 to upwards to 3,000 RPM sometimes, depending on how fast I was going. So I try to always kind of keep it low, and it was probably on average about 26 to 27, and that's still pretty high, you know. But I didn't really think it was gonna actually like just totally fry the transmission, and I think that actually helped to assist to make the transmission just go. What I was going to do is throw a 4L80 in it, and I was like, you know what, this Chevelle's costing me a lot of money for this build, and I don't really want to mess with putting a 4L80 in it, because for one, I'm gonna have to probably shorten the drive shaft. Two, I'm probably gonna have to get another cross member, because the stock cross member probably is not gonna work, and just probably some other odds and ends. And I was like, man, I just don't want to put any more money into it than I have to, and I have to get the 4L80 rebuilt, or the 460. So I was already I wasn't planning on putting that money to a transmission, but I'm already, you know, preparing myself to put money towards that. And I figured, well, if I just rebuild the 460, then I'll save money there because I won't have to put all the extras in it, like shorten the drive shaft and get a new cross member and whatnot. So, but after doing some research and stuff, and you know, in the long run, it's going to be better for me to put the 480 in it because of the overdrive. It's going to help keep the RPMs down. Also, it'll help to it'll just hold better horsepower as well. And you know, I probably won't be able to get on the car like I want to, and you know, I do a lot of freeway driving and stuff like that, so it's just going to be in my benefit to build a 480. So anyways, that's where I'm at with that. So I'll probably just throw the 480 in it back to my original plan, and I'll show you the 480 right now. All right, y'all, so here it is right here. So this is the 480 that came out of the cargo van that I got the 6.0 out of. So 480, I don't know how many miles it has on it. It probably has over 200,000. When I took the engine out of my truck, it was dumping black transmission fluid out of it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say that it needs to be rebuilt, because the transmission was black. I mean, blacker than a crayon black, blacker than a Sharpie marker black, like super duper black. And I just don't want to mess with it, y'all. And so I'm just gonna have it gone through. I'm gonna have the same shop who did my exhaust go through this. They're actually specialized in transmissions, and they already quoted me a price, and it's just gonna probably be about the same as, you know, me doing the 4060 anyway. At least with this one, I know that I'll be able to handle the horsepower that my engine will put out, and I'll be able to drive it and overdrive, you know, on freeways and things like that at lower RPMs with my rear end gears. And it'll just be, you know, a new transmission since I'll have it rebuilt. Plus, I'm gonna have some things upgrade on it, and I'm gonna put a shift kit in it. So I think in the long haul, it'll hold well more horsepower than I need, and it'll be better in the long run. So this is it, y'all. This is it. Oh, and that's another thing. I'll probably have to get a new torque converter as well. So there's extra money that's going towards that too. So anyways, y'all, that's pretty much what I'm gonna do. Have all my freaking spare parts back here for my Chevelle, my bumpers, and all that. So I'm gonna have to clean those up too when I get the car back. But yeah, y'all, this is it. The 480 is gonna get rebuilt. It's gonna go into the Caprice, and once I get this back, then I'll have to repin a couple wires in my original harness, and then tie those wires into the vehicle speed sensors, because on the 480 this has two vehicle speed sensors where the 4060 only has one. So the pins that I'll take out of my original harness will then tie into the second vehicle speed sensor, and then there's a pin that I would have to move inside of the harness, and I have to move that to a separate part of the harness. And what I'm talking about is where it plugs in right here. So where the trans connector plugs into the transmission, you have to basically de-pin a couple pins and then move a pin to another location, and then you have to move two pins in the PCM as well in order for it to run correctly. Then you have to take it to somebody, your tuner, to have them retune it so the computer will shift the 480 correctly. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get inside here, y'all, so I can get relaxing and for the rest of the day. But you guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, stay positive, y'all, do all that good stuff, and I'm out. Deuces.